Could the Grail's enduring allure hint at a truth far greater than the sum of its myths, one that invites us into a personal pilgrimage towards enlightenment? The Holy Grail, beyond being a mere artifact, symbolizes the pinnacle of spiritual quests, believed to be the very cup Christ used at the Last Supper. Legends intertwine, suggesting its journey from the hands of Joseph of Arimathea to the mystical shores of Glastonbury, creating a saga that intertwines with the fates of Arthurian knights and saints. Yet this narrative transcends mere legend, hinting at a deeper, more profound search that each soul undertakes. Manly P. Hall, a luminary in the exploration of mystical and philosophical realms, who dedicated his life to unearthing the wisdom veiled within ancient traditions, invites us on a quest not for a physical relic, but for the light of spiritual awakening. He posits that the true Church of the Holy Grail is not found in stone and mortar, but within the soul's journey towards divine union. What if I told you that this quest, as ancient as it might seem, is as relevant today as it ever was? That each of us, in our way, is a seeker on the path of the Grail, searching for that elusive vision of truth that Galahad and Parzival beheld. In the mists of time, nestled within the marshes of Avalon, lies a tale as enchanting as it is profound. This narrative, woven through the ages, speaks of a quest not just for an object, but for enlightenment itself. Envision the solitary knight standing before the altar in a moment of quiet dedication, the vast landscapes he must traverse symbolizing the inner worlds we must navigate. These images serve not just as backdrops to a medieval quest, but as poignant reminders of our spiritual journey, underscored by the universal search for truth and light. Scholars and seekers have puzzled over the Holy Grail for centuries. The Grail represents the ultimate desire for purity and enlightenment, from its genesis from Lucifer's crown diamond to its appearance in ancient ceremonies. This holy chalice, symbolizing self-purification, takes us on a profound path of self-discovery. Internal visualization transformed spiritual ideals into vivid inner visions, helping searchers achieve greater consciousness across cultures from North Africa to early Christendom. The route to the Grail requires us to face our shortcomings and transform through sacrifice and dedication to divine love. This journey takes purification and dealing with inner impediments that obstruct spiritual advancement. As seekers, we must live with honesty, following our faith without compromise, and pursuing a peaceful life beyond the material world to represent our commitment to the Grail. This journey requires an intense desire to personal growth and spiritual enlightenment, like knights' noble pursuits. Such lonely route demands strength and a willingness to use life's challenges to grow spiritually to reach the Grail sanctuary. Meditation and contemplation lead to deeper spiritual insight and connection through tranquility. To discover inner peace and harmony with the cosmos, we must confront and cleanse our subconscious, discarding ego and inaccurate aspiration. The Grail quest symbolizes the human spirit's pursuit for truth, challenging us to find serenity in chaos and find our purpose in existence. The symbolic quest for the Holy Grail forces us to face our inner demons, the shadows we run from. In silent self-reflection, we face the truths we ignore, showing that our biggest battle is inside. The Grail quest is about facing and overcoming our own weaknesses and misgivings, not external approval. This journey requires self-purification, introspection, and self-correction to match our inner world with the divine. Purifying one's cup symbolizes soul purity. We discover the teacher self that leads us to wisdom and away from ignorance when we quiet the conflict within and open ourselves to the divine source of life. The Grail legend's mystical tradition promotes intimate connection with the divine beyond organized religion and social standards. It's an invitation to transcend the physical and journey inward, guided by visions of a higher state of being and a deeper comprehension of the divine. As people on this quest, we need to ask ourselves if we are really ready for this trip. The Grail is found through quiet spiritual discovery and growth within, not through praise from others. It requires a real desire to give up the material world in order to connect with God more deeply. This change makes the soul delighted because it now knows it is in heaven. This road is marked by challenges and deep self-reflection. It leads us to inner peace and harmony with the universe through meditation and deep thought. It serves as a reminder that the real Grail quest is finding out who we are and where we fit in the world. Imagine a world where each of us holds a lantern in the dark, not just to illuminate our path, but to light the way for others. This isn't just a thought. It's a call to action, a reminder of the power within us to make a significant difference. What if I told you that your weaknesses, those shadows you battle in solitude, are not just obstacles but stepping stones to achieving greatness? That the act of looking beyond our flaws and focusing on our strengths can propel us into realms of uncharted potential. The quest is not just about overcoming, it's about transcending, about finding the divine spark within and letting it guide us to serve a cause greater than ourselves. The journey towards enlightenment and service is not a solitary endeavour. It is a path paved with the bricks of selflessness, kindness, and the relentless pursuit of wisdom. Imagine, if you will, a visual montage of individuals from various walks of life, each engaging in acts of kindness, from the simple offering of a meal to the homeless, to the grand gesture of building shelters for the needy. These are not just acts of charity, but manifestations of a deeper understanding and connection to the world. How will you use your talents to illuminate the darkness? Can you envision yourself as a knight-errant of modern times dedicated to the service of humanity? I invite you to reflect on these questions, not just as a passive observer, but as an active participant in this grand adventure we call life. Let me share a fable, that of the Zen master who, lost in meditation, walked across a river without getting his feet wet. If he had paused to consider the improbability of his action, he might have sunk. This tale is a metaphor for our journey. When we are truly aligned with our purpose, the impossible becomes possible. And yes, even though it sounds like a setup for a joke, the punchline is profound. Sometimes, to achieve the extraordinary, we must simply keep walking, unfazed by the odds. The true measure of our journey is not in the weight of the gold we accumulate, but in the lives we touch and transform. The quest for the golden fleece, the Grail, or the Grail is more than a pursuit of glory. It is a testament to the enduring power of compassion, love, and redemption. There's an underlying truth that binds us all, the indomitable spirit of life itself. This isn't just philosophical musing, it's a revelation of our inherent connection to something greater, a force that molds us, sustains us, and ultimately calls us to a higher purpose. Picture a montage of the universe's wonders, from the microcosmic to the macrocosmic, the birth of a star, the unfurling of a leaf, and the joyful laughter of a child. These are not mere occurrences, but manifestations of the life force that courses through all things. This life force, this ever-persistent quest for the Grail, is not a relic of the past, but a beacon for our journey forward. The concept of a universal church isn't about dogma or doctrine, but the recognition that at the heart of all spiritual traditions lies a singular truth, the quest for unity with the divine. This isn't a journey that ends with enlightenment or salvation, but one that perpetuates through acts of love, service, and compassion, binding us to each other and to the divine essence from which we emanate. These principles, shown by the Knights of the Grail and the great mystics of all time, like Buddha, Plato, Pythagoras, and Socrates, are not only a way to become more enlightened, but also a call for everyone to work together for the good of all people. The things we've learned demonstrate how the holy and the secular are connected. Every kind deed, search for knowledge, and loving gesture adds to the big tapestry of life. The earth, the cosmos, and everything beyond are not just stages for our physical lives. They are also spiritual places that call us to look beyond the limits of matter and into the infinite. Together, let us reaffirm our commitment to the noble quest for the Grail within us all, recognizing that in the harmony of universal principles lies the key to our collective peace, prosperity, and ultimate fulfillment. How will you harness your talents, your insights, and your compassion to make a difference? The path is laid out before you, and the choice, as always, is yours. If you are still with me here, I hope you understand how much I admire it. If you appreciate what you see, please feel free to subscribe and like our channel. Also, feel free to add your own stories to the comments section. Your opinions and experiences will benefit our community as well as maybe inspiring other viewers. Wishing you a good journey and a wonderful day ahead. I am grateful.